Looking at these two, this is what happens after the Tower. This to me actually looks like really good energy for you guys. So this week from Lay Vampire, you pulled Her Last Day in the Light. Unexpected endings, surprise changes, and sudden shifts. But then from Chakra Wisdom, you pulled Growth, which to me is saying that now you're looking at everything that's lying in ruins and going, I've outgrown this shit, I'm moving on, which is perfect. Her Last Day in the Light is telling you you need to prepare for change. But it's not like, you know, the destructive force of the Tower. Things are already left in ruins. It's basically saying that if you feel like you're in the dark right now, you're going to be brought back into the light, which is perfect. But with Growth, it makes it even better because you're looking at what you have outgrown now. You're taking a stand for yourself and living your truth. But it's not just about your own personal growth. It's about the growth of others, though, as well. So in whatever situations you're dealing with other people, it's like you're done with it in a big way here. Now, the card at a glance says that this card implies personal commitment and following one's heart. It's about honoring your growth and the growth of others. There is a sense of courage and abundance and an ability to stand tall. This is a time to uphold what your heart knows is true. All right. Here we go, Taurus. Here's your overall for the week. Okay, the Six of Swords. So, and it feels like this is the case for a lot of people now. You know, I constantly see, like, the back being turned to shit. Like, that's enough. I've had enough. So with the Six of Swords, moving away from this for good, once and for all, right? You know, and I don't think it's a question of whether or not you're doing it. It's more of, you know, are you able to leave the pain of the past behind, I think is the best way to put it. But, you know, this is what you're doing right now. You're trying to move away from that conflict, the things that you have outgrown and the things that you are no longer willing to deal with, which is good. Now, in the past, wow, the Ten of Wands. And cue the thunder. The Ten of Wands is the past being overwhelmed, being weighed down, carrying too much, feeling like you're doing everything is what I feel like more than anything. You're doing everything, and it's like wanting to just get it off your back. But with the Ten of Wands as the past, I mean, it's no wonder why you're looking at the Six of Swords, wanting to get away from being so weighed down and overwhelmed. There may be some things that you're wanting to get off of yourself, though, too, right? Releasing those burdens, dropping those burdens, and getting back to that one. And that's definitely what you're trying to do. Oh, Taurus. In the present, the Three of Swords. You know, because we're looking at the Six of Swords as the overall, I think that, you know, for some of you, you're looking to get rid of what is weighing you down because it's breaking your heart. I mean, that's probably the best way to put it. I don't so much feel like this is something that you're going to face this week. I feel like it's connected to the past, and I think that your thoughts are still with it. Right? Like you're still with it right now. Whatever way that you were heartbroken, it's like you're trying to move on from this, but it's been weighing on you for a long time, and it's like breaking you almost. Jeez. You know, and of course I'm waiting to see what's happening here, but that's, you know, yeah, man. Oh, shit. I hate that little bastard, I'm telling you. It drives me nuts seeing it. The Page of Swords. The Page of Swords in future conditions. Now, you know, for some of you, this to me is how you're thinking about what you've been dealing with. You know, and I say that because of this being the overall. So if we're looking at the Page of Swords, it may be that, you know, you need more information first before you can finally release this. It's almost like needing to know why. Like you needing to have an answer. You know, it's not like the world where like you may hear what you don't want to hear, but is it actually going to give you closure? you know? Or you may know that what you are asking for is not going to be what you were hoping to hear. I worry about that. And then I also worry about you not being able to fully move on, you know? That, or this is somebody else that's like still in your space, like trying to figure out what you're doing and asking questions and like not allowing you to actually move. Your best path to follow, the Knight of Wands. Hell yeah, get up and get after it. Don't stay in this space here. You know? Oh man, with the Knight of Wands, yeah, it's time to move. Like, it's time to move in a really big way, but you need to start moving into the things that, you know, you have a passion for, right? With the Knight of Wands. I feel more so that you need to have passion while moving, you know? Like needing to find your passion again. But then not only that, but with the Knight of Wands, one of the things that I've always said when it comes to him is that he doesn't care about what's going to happen later on. He's not worried about consequences of actions or outcomes. And that may be the space that you need to be in right now instead of, you know, needing answers. Because I feel like that's what this is about here. Oh shit. In your environment, the King of Wands, son of a bitch. Alright. Wow, Taurus. Now, you know, and again, this is only going to be for some of you. I don't know what the fuck it is that I'm tapping into, but it seems like this week the difficulty has hit full force. You know, it just kind of falls away. Like, damn it, I thought I was ready for this, but apparently I wasn't. Anyway, the King of Wands, being in your environment, connected to the Three of Swords, you know, you could be dealing with a person. It could be a fire sign, and it could be somebody who may have really hurt you, and you may be looking for some answers here. And there may be a little bit of difficulty in releasing this. Now, for some of you, though, the other thing that I'm feeling, because I'm looking at the Knight of Wands and the King of Wands, for some of you, you know, you may be needing to just, like, have a quick release of the heavy burden, you know, which is possible here. But I don't like the connection between the two. And then here you are in the middle of this, trying to move on, still wanting answers, but possibly not getting it from this person. You know, they may be too wrapped up in themselves right now and what they're doing. And maybe that's why this is your advice, that you need to just go. Don't even worry about what they're doing anymore, especially with the heaviness that's surrounding it. Ugh, Taurus. Your hopes and your fears, the Knight of Cups. You know, looking at him as hopes and fears, like I said, it brings me back to this feeling of you, you know, looking for answers, but then hoping for, you know, the offer to come back. You know, especially if there is a lot of, you know, different things attached to this person. Heartbreak, attraction, heaviness, you know, not being able to move forward, needing answers, you know, especially if there's still a passion or still a want, an emotional want. You know, and as far as fears go, though, with the Knight of Cups, I mean, if we're talking about your fears surrounding this person's actions, it could be that you're fearing that they're offering, you know, their emotions, their love, whatever, somewhere else. You know, and that's why we're looking at the Three of Swords connected to him. Oh, Taurus, why? And like I said, you know, this is not going to be for everybody, right? But clearly some of you are dealing with somebody who is like really putting you through the ringer. And then the Hierophant. Ooh, Taurus. All right. Now, we could definitely be saying here, as far as the Lovers being the outcome, I mean, looking at it this way, I'm like, oh, God. You know, needing to move on. Still wanting answers, still needing to make a major choice here when it comes to, you know, a relationship, especially with the Hierophant showing up here with a person possibly that is breaking your heart because they may be all over the place emotionally. You, though, do need to move on, because this whole thing with the Ten of Wands kicking it off has been like weighing on you. Now with the Chariot, we could definitely be talking about you moving the hell on and going quickly, right? But, you know, it's really about getting control. And with the Ten of Wands being there and looking at, I mean, oh man. It may be that you need to like abruptly pick up and go. You know, there is that sense of victory there with the Chariot, but geez, you know, and then you have the Ten of Pentacles. And what worries me about this is that for some of you, there may be difficulty in actually making a big move because there is stability and security, not just possibly with a relationship, which could be a long-term here, but then also with the heartbreak and the difficulty surrounding them not being fully committed. And then you have you with the Hierophant, right? And I think that that's what you're wanting here, is you're wanting a commitment. Some of you may literally be being a little bit too stubborn when it comes to this situation. Now, I'm hoping, though, that for some of you, especially with the Oracle cards, you know, I'm looking at Tower energy, but I'm looking at you coming out of the darkness or getting yourself out of the darkness and getting away from these types of situations that you've outgrown, right? I'm hoping that you're moving on quickly to something that is more stable and secure and is actually going to be more committed for you, somewhere where there's more of a commitment, right? But I don't know. I think that this is a situation that you're dealing with right now. You know, I mean, I'm looking at this like, you know, unfortunately with the Page of Swords, you don't hear what you want to hear out of that. And with the Ten of Pentacles being there, you know, there may be a lot of stability as far as financially with this relationship. But, you know, is that what's stopping you, though? And you hoping for a stronger commitment? I don't know, Taurus, that bothers me. But I do hope that some of you are actually moving on to something else. And it may be because you did get another offer, rather than continuing to deal with the burdens of this. You know, because I still go back to this and think, yeah, you know, there's something else. There's something better instead of this, and not getting what you want from this, not getting the answers that you want. And that's what changes this. Okay, so now, as far as singles go, release your ex. When you're looking at the Five of Swords, this kind of has the feeling of not so much that, you know, you're getting involved in a situation that you shouldn't be. I think more so when you're looking at the Five of Swords, it's about overcoming feelings of inadequacy. That is the definition for this card. Okay, so your ex may have made you feel like you were not worthy of another person's love. And that is the energy that you're releasing here. And maybe some of you are getting involved in a new situation and you're overcoming that now. And that it could simply be that. But, you know, you may definitely need to release somebody who is going to make you feel like you're not good enough. Now, for those of you who are in a relationship, the Ace of Pentacles, fantastic. It is fantastic. You are talking about a relationship that is more than sex. This is the long-term, let's get married, let's get old together relationship. It's perfect. But some of you may be facing a short-term separation, and that may be where the difficulty is coming through here. But there may still be like a lot of passion going on, but then, you know, maybe hearing some tough news, which could definitely be the case, right? But, you know, as far as the clarifiers with the Lovers coming out on this, I feel good about it, but I feel hesitant. because I don't like the way that it's connected to the Page of Swords. But like I said, it could just be, some difficult news, right? This may just be a temporary thing, and it may move you into a place where there is a stronger commitment and more stability. But if you are dealing with heartbreak with a person right now, you definitely want to release yourself from that energy and move on to things that are not going to weigh so heavily on you. All right, Taurus, and again, sorry about the rain. And hopefully you guys can hear me. I'll try to up the volume when I edit. Now, the way that you come into this, and like I said, it could be a different situation for some of you, okay? But because of the Oracle cards, I feel like some of you are really looking at what you are outgrowing, and you're moving on now. You're moving away from that energy of the Tower. You're coming back into the light. You're not going to be left standing in the rubble trying to figure things out, even though I think right now some of you may be looking for answers from a person because of the Three of Swords, right? To me, it feels like, these two connected, you're dealing with somebody who, and this may have been weighing on you for a while, looking at the Ten of Wands. Somebody who may have betrayed you, broke your heart, hurt you in some way. You may still be thinking about it. And like I said, with the Page of Swords, to me, it's like looking for answers, like needing an answer as to what the hell. Now, I do think that some of you, and this is only going to be for some of you, I do think that there's something else. Looking at the Knight of Cups as hopes and fears, and then your best path to follow, your advice being the Knight of Wands. Needing to get up and go after something new, something that, brings more passion and excitement into your life, rather than being weighed down by not getting the answers that you want or that you may not ever get. Now, on the other hand, you could just be dealing with a situation where you get some bad news, you don't want to deal with it, it's been coming with the Ten of Wands, right? Hoping that things go in a better direction, and, it's like, it's dual-sided for me on this one. When you're looking at the Lovers as the outcome, with the Page of Swords, that's a difficult energy in itself. Now, you could simply be talking about you dealing with a person who is younger than you. Maybe they're in distance, you're getting over heartbreak over somebody else. I mean, there's so many different ways to look at this. But I feel like that Page of Swords is about needing answers, but not getting the full, I don't want to say the full truth, you're not really getting enough to give you closure. Okay, so now with the clarifiers in terms of the Lovers, the Chariot, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Hierophant. This to me looks like moving on quickly to a situation that's going to bring you a lot more stability and security and a stronger commitment. That, or this may be what you're wanting but not getting because of the Page of Swords being connected to it. But I don't know. And then I look back at that Knight of Cups and I think, and then your advice, is there something else? Is there something else that is going to be better for you? Or are you breaking somebody's heart? But, you are the one, though, with the Six of Swords here, needing to move on. Which makes me think that we're dealing with a person that has hurt you. And there definitely could be something else. And you may have to make a big move, a big change in terms of your relationship to get to that major commitment and security and stability. Now, as far as relationships go, release your ex in the Five of Swords. If you were dealing with a person who made you feel like you're not good enough, that's over. You need to release that energy. And if you, have an opportunity to get involved with somebody new, don't let that affect it. Don't let that make you feel like you're not good enough for other people because of you dealing with an asshole, is the best way to put this, right? Now, for some of you, with the Five of Swords, with release your ex, you may not want to be dealing with this again, but you may be tempted to.